There's a number of different items relating to getting the app ready for international use. So the app now, we have about, I think there's 18 or 19 languages now in the app, where the app supports not that many. Then in terms of content, if you're uploading content as an artist, you can put it out globally if you want, depending on how and who you want to hear your music. But then there are restrictions from some of the labels. So depending on the deal with the label, you have access to either show or have users stream content from anywhere, or maybe it's just the US or just Africa. It depends on that specific contract or deal with them. So that's where we do have those kind of fail safes in place to know where we have to know where the user is to give them the right content and the best content for them. And it's also a restriction based off of the label themselves. So those are some items. And then when it comes to like ads and kind of retargeting and things of that nature, yes, there are different networks that are run in different countries just based on who has the most fill, who has the most what's the best paying advertising for that market, what's the most relevant, etc. And that's really all figured out by a mix of the ad networks and then the Audiomack like advertising / like data team that's looking at this daily. Localizing the app and supporting so many languages is very hard. Like from a design and user experience perspective, like the character count of like a title in English, maybe 20 characters, but another language maybe exponentially more, or maybe not exponentially, but a significant amount more, where like from a coding and design perspective, you just have to account for that, where like when we test, we have to like look at each screen in those 18, 19 languages and make sure there's no issue with text where like it's overlapping or it's getting cut off or anything like that, which is a pretty hard manual process to do, but it kind of has to be done. So when testing, we just ensure that, and we automate as much of that as possible to just give screenshots to whoever's looking at the app, and they can just quickly go through each screen. But I would say that's more of a pain point and a tedious item of having and supporting that many languages, but it kind of has to be done at the size of Audiomack. Besides that, the other interesting point is a lot of people aren't aware of zero rated products. So what this means is there's a lot of especially in Europe. So basically streaming products, I know like it's generally the bigger boys like the Google or Facebooks, etc., are zero rated. So when you're using them, you're not using your data. So Audiomack's been going through the process of getting more and more areas to make sure and ensure that the app is zero rated. So then end users don't have to pay for data. It's been a pretty long process for some of them where it's pretty technical and we have to get involved and send specific app versions of the things of that nature. But it's so beneficial to the end app users to not have to pay for data if they're using Audiomack.